As the British summer unfurls, few stories have captured the collective imagination of the public quite like the unfolding journey of Her Royal Highness, the Princess of Wales. There's a sense in the air, a kind of emotional current that flows from palatial walls all the way to living rooms across the UK, and far beyond. Everyone seems to be waiting, holding their breath, searching for every sign, every whispered update, and every fleeting public appearance of the woman whose grace, courage, and warmth have come to symbolize a new era for the royal family. Today, we invite you to join us for an intimate, unfiltered look at the realities behind the headlines, the true, painstaking path of Princess Katherine as she tentatively, and with remarkable dignity, navigates her way back to royal life. But this is no simple, return-to-duty tale. It is, instead, the story of a woman, a mother, and a future queen whose private battles have unfolded in the harshest public spotlight, and whose every decision now sets a precedent not only for the monarchy, but for anyone facing their own difficult recovery. The journey began with a shock that reverberated through every corner of the kingdom, Katherine's cancer diagnosis. When news first broke, it felt as if time itself had stopped. Crowds gathered outside the palace gates, strangers comforted each other in grocery store queues, and online forums filled with both prayers and fears. The princess had always appeared so unshakable, smiling at charity events, calming her children at public parades, always by William's side, a picture of steady elegance. Suddenly, the reality of her humanity became painfully, achingly clear. Katherine's statement, carefully worded, yet heartbreakingly direct, marked a turning point. "This is something no family ever expects," she said, her voice steady, but her eyes betraying the weight of her private fear. Instantly, the world responded with a tidal wave of support. Grandmothers in Yorkshire knitted blankets, schoolchildren in Edinburgh sent handmade cards, and millions watched and waited for every scrap of news from Kensington Palace. The royal family, known for their famous stiff upper lip, drew their circle even tighter. William, faced with the impossible task of being both the public face of royal resilience and the private anchor for his wife and children, put on a brave front. Yet insiders spoke in hushed tones about late-night meetings, worried discussions with doctors, and the determined but fragile hope that Katherine would one day return to her former self. Weeks passed, then months. The palace grew quieter. The princess stepped away from public life, her absence felt keenly at every event, her empty seat at Easter services, her missing smile at charity galas, the way George and Charlotte held William's hands just a bit tighter. All the while, the outside world buzzed with concern and curiosity. How was she coping? Would she ever return? Could the monarchy weather another storm? Then, in January, the long-awaited announcement, remission. The word itself sounded like a miracle. Newspapers sold out, TV anchors blinked back tears, and social media erupted in a celebration not seen since the birth of Prince Louis. Yet even as the relief washed over the nation, those closest to the princess knew that the real journey, the hard, unglamorous, day-to-day battle for strength and normalcy, was just beginning. This is where Katherine's story diverges from the fairy tale. In a world that expects perfection and poise from its princesses, she made a revolutionary choice: to listen to her body, to pace herself, to refuse to sacrifice her health on the altar of public expectation. Elsa Anderson, a former royal spokesperson, summed it up with a phrase that quickly became the mantra of supporters everywhere: the princess is consciously listening to her body. Not just words, but a lifeline for millions who had faced their own battles with illness and understood the courage required to put well-being first. Now, the world watched as the princess embarked on what can only be described as a soft return, a process so carefully managed, so intimately tailored, that each engagement was weighed not only for its public importance, but for its impact on her recovery. Trooping the color, the king's official birthday, and one of the crown jewels of the royal calendar, became the first true test. When Katherine stepped onto the Buckingham Palace balcony, flanked by King Charles III and Queen Camilla, a wave of emotion swept through the crowd. Here, in living color, stood two royals who had both faced cancer, two survivors, standing tall, smiling bravely, offering a powerful testament to resilience. The world watched, holding its breath, as Katherine waved to the crowds. For a moment, it seemed that normalcy had returned. But even as the cameras flashed and the press cheered her triumphant return, those who know the rhythms of royal life understood the stakes. This was not a victory lap, but a carefully orchestrated step in a larger, more demanding dance. Every appearance required months of preparation, consultations with doctors, endless conversations about rest, diet, and travel, careful scheduling to avoid overexertion. The princess's health remained paramount, her presence at events more symbol than substance, a beacon of hope carefully protected behind the scenes. Royal Ascot, the next major engagement, exposed the depth of this new reality. For days, her name appeared in the official carriage schedule, a tantalizing hint that Katherine might be ready for another high-profile event. The public buzzed, the media speculated, fans polished their binoculars for a glimpse of the future queen. But when the day came, the second carriage remained conspicuously empty. No Katherine, no royal wave, only a polite, but firm announcement: the princess would not be attending. Disappointment rippled through the crowd. Yet as the dust settled, something remarkable happened. Instead of anger, there was understanding. The princess had chosen her health over tradition, self-care over ceremony, and the public applauded her for it. Even the most hardened critics agreed, this was the right call. Behind closed doors, insiders breathed a sigh of relief. For once, the monarchy was leading by example, not just in pomp and spectacle, but in honesty and vulnerability. Katherine's absence from Ascot was not the only moment of note. In the weeks that followed, she made carefully chosen appearances at key events, each one a calculated risk, each one a message to the world that recovery is not a straight line, but a journey filled with both setbacks and victories. Her attendance at Garter Day, at St. George's Chapel, became another symbol of cautious hope. Royal expert Jenny Bond captured the mood perfectly. To see Kate alongside the king was to see the monarchy itself, battered but unbroken, back on track. Inside palace walls, the atmosphere remained intense but hopeful. Medical teams monitored every detail, aides worked tirelessly to shield the princess from stress, and family members rallied around her with a mixture of pride and protectiveness. For William, the stakes could not have been higher. His love for Katherine, his role as a father, and his duty as future king all converged in a single, unwavering priority: to keep his wife safe. Public reaction was swift and heartfelt. Letters poured into Kensington Palace from around the world, words of encouragement from cancer survivors, poems from children, even a quilt from a group of Welsh grandmothers stitched with messages of hope. Social media became a river of solidarity, with #WeLoveKate trending for days. The British people, so often reserved, opened their hearts in a rare display of national unity. The princess's journey became, in a very real sense, a public template for how to return to life after trauma. Her phased approach, marked by flexibility, honesty, and humility, offered a powerful counter-narrative to the myth of the superwoman who can do it all. Instead, Katherine showed that it is possible to be both strong and vulnerable, both a symbol and a human being, both a princess and a patient. As the summer rolls on, the story is far from over. Every step Katherine takes is measured, scrutinized, and celebrated in equal measure. The monarchy itself stands at a crossroads, its future shaped not only by tradition and protocol, but by the courage of those who dare to put health first, even when the world is watching. In the coming months, the princess's journey will continue to inspire and challenge us. Her every appearance, every absence, every choice will be a reminder that behind the titles, behind the glittering ceremonies, lies a story of resilience, hope, and the quiet, steady triumph of the human spirit. So, dear viewers, as we continue to follow this extraordinary journey together, let us remember that every royal is, in the end, simply human. Their victories and setbacks, their joys and sorrows, echo our own. In Katherine's story, we see not only the evolution of the monarchy, but the evolution of what it means to live with grace under pressure. What are your thoughts on the Princess of Wales's careful and phased return? Do you believe prioritizing health over duty is the right path? Have you faced similar challenges in your own life? Please share your reflections in the comments below. We cherish every story and every perspective. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us again for more heartfelt updates from the world of the royal family.